Hi, I'm back. I'm Jill with Copycat Crafts by Jill, and I thought I would do another project that I'm going to put in my idea book. However, if you don't have an idea book, you certainly don't need one. The projects that I'm doing for the idea book are basically page ideas and can be put in any folio or journal. So you don't have to feel like you need to implement any of these and wait till you get an idea book. These are for folios and journals. These are ideas I've already used in my folios and journals that I thought to myself, I have empty idea books and I have ideas that I'm putting in folios and journals. Why not get those ideas, put them in my idea book? That way, when I decide I can't think of what to do, I have them in my idea book. So this is the idea. You probably will, maybe you'll recognize it from one of my last folios. It was actually a little ticket area where I just made a little spot that flipped open and it had tickets in it. So I wanted to do that. This one, since the bottom here was made by a cut off envelope, I just turned it into a little pocket and stuck an extra ticket in there. And I just glued the little string underneath the bottom part, the bottom holder, and only used one closure. So when I did that and had so much room, I thought I wanted to show basically the same idea in a slightly different way and used for, instead of tickets, as a little journaling spot or a little tablet. So this flips open the same, this flips up, and it's just a little journaling spot. Excuse me. So there's just papers in there. Again, I didn't stock them super full because this is just my idea book. I'm not going to be in here journaling. I don't journal anyway, really. But I love the idea. So I just thought I'd put these in this book and I would make this kind of the same and put them in the other idea book. But I also wanted to just give a little information. This idea book was not my idea. It was, I got the idea from Cori Dahmen's channel, Cori Dahmen Creating with Scraps. And I will link her video under in the description box. Her first video, as I recall it, was how to start making this and to do the front cover and the back cover using scraps. It's in her name, Creating with Scraps. So that's actually what got me started. I had all these Tim Holtz scraps. I inked them up. I had to maybe trim or cut some, but most I did not. They are the size they were, and to make the front cover and the back cover. And when I started one, I did start the second one right away. So I had two started at the same time. If I had that to do over again, I would not do that. I can't speak to why I did that. But that's what I did. I started two. And I'm not the type to too much to start a project and then think it's just too hard or I'm in over my head. But it was challenging for me. It was, oh, I'm going to say a year and a half ago or so. And once I was pretty invested in two of them, halfway done, I was not going to waste all this Tim Holtz paper. Now this Tim Holtz paper were the 6x6 that came in the paper pads. So I had cut them to the 6x6, and I started using them, and I did not want to waste that. I didn't want to give up. I just think at the time I bit off more than I could chew at the time. And so it was a struggle to finish. I made it way harder than I needed to. Who knows why? And that's why I think by the time I had actually finished the books, I started to put some ideas in it, and I kind of had just was over it. I needed a break from them. So I just put them away, and just kind of got them out a couple weeks ago. If I were to need another one, I think I want to do a whole video on that. So I don't want to get into that because I think I have a really good idea, a really simple idea. So if anyone out there, if you're up to this task and it's worth it, I love Cori. This is a great idea. It was worth it. I personally just bit off a little more than I could chew at that time. Since then, I think I have a pretty good idea that I would like to try. I want to try it before I bring it to use, but that's I should put it in my idea book. Okay, so with that being said, and I will link Cori's video. You really, if you love this idea, you should at least watch it. It's a lot. I think there's a couple parts because the first video that I'm linking is the cover and the back cover, the front and back cover. Okay, so to help save time a little bit, I didn't do it all. I still have a lot of trimming, some scoring, a little bit of inking, but I wanted to show you the main parts. And again, I'm going to start with the ticket one. But just to show you, these are the 6x6. They're 6x6. And they are from Tim Holtz, his cardstock paper pads. And that's what most of my scraps are as well. So that's what I'll be using in here. This is the paper I chose, and these are all scraps, so I wasn't like really picky. I just was grabbing my scraps. For the tickets, what I've done is we probably all have these, and we have them in red and green and white. They probably have yellow out there, I believe. Anyway, they come in, at least if you buy them at the Dollar Tree and even at Walmart. If you don't buy them on a roll, they come in pieces like this. So what I did was get my handy dandy paper cutter trimmer, and I just split them in half. And the reason why is because once you split them in half, that gives you 4 whole tickets and then 2 half tickets. These half tickets are what will go under, that's not the right one, but it will go in between, and then I staple here. So then you get full use of 4 tickets, and you only lose 2 tickets for every full piece. So I did 1 green, so that gives me 2 green. Did 1 red, that gives me 2 red. And then I like to do 2 white. And when you put these together, make sure you have the half tickets all in the same spot. Because if you flip it around, then you're stuck with ruining these 2 tickets and these 2. So you want to make sure they're in the right place. I also did coffee stain mine a very long time ago, so that's why they look like that. But basically what I did was just cut them in half. So I believe they're 10 inches, so we're cutting them at 5. Yep, 5. And then that gives us that. And because I really prefer the white ones, I'm going to put the white on the top and white on the bottom. You can mix them, match them all you want. That's how I make those. Then this is the one for them. You can pick as big or as small, as tight or as loose that you want it in there. The other one I picked very tight. I really cut it really tight. And that's fine. This one I'm going to do a little bit looser. This is going to be my my cover to the outside. So it will be like that. But the other thing I want to check, we know we only have 6 inches. So you can trim these if you don't want your thing to be this long. And I may actually do that. On my other one I didn't, and I just feel it's a little long. So you can actually trim this down a little bit. You just want to make sure, here's my piece for this. Will go like that. So I have to score it pretty much in the center, but I also know I want to trim it. So this piece you want pretty much tight. You want it not too much hanging over on either side. And with that, I really wouldn't even have to trim it, but I already marked it to trim a little bit off, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to move my book out of the way until we're done with this. So I'm just going to, I'm probably only going to take half of what I thought I wanted off. And I also have to score it. When I score it, I want the front piece, which will be this piece, to be less than the fold over back part. And you don't have to score it. I just doing it because I have it. So I'm going to leave the front piece about that big. Let's hope I scored it on the, yes I did. Okay, so I can even actually trim some of that off. I don't need it that long. That's a little long. Let's get some of that off. Okay. And I do want to, you don't have to ink the back, but I do want to ink around it. So guess I'll get my walnut stain. I'm not sure what I've been using. So we're just going to quickly ink that. It was probably coffee is probably what I was using. But now it's walnut stain. Okay, this is the front. This is the part we're going to see. So, oh, good idea. Happy accident. Happy accident. I love that. Plus, it goes in my idea book. Okay. Yep. I think that's good enough. And then I just take like a regular size stapler. The tiny attacher is too tiny for this job. So I am going to just trim some of my tickets down. I don't want to trim all of them at the same time. So let's take about half. And I'm just going to cut the part that is a half a ticket in about half. That's my plan. So that would leave us with trying to guesstimate. I'd rather have a little more than not quite enough. Okay, that's where I chose. So I'm gonna measure it up to this one. And if I have my pencil, where would that be? Right here. Okay. Doesn't have to be super measured. It just needs to be fairly close. Okay, I do abuse that trimmer. I will fess up to that. I do abuse it. All right, for now, get it out of the way. This piece goes with that. This comes here. So it will look like this. Now, if you want, you can round the corners. I did on my other one. I'll do it here. This time I think I'll just use the littlest round. Just put a little ink on them. Get my tickets. And again, make sure the cut part is all in the same place or you will be upset. All right. So then it goes like this. Make sure, because I believe the white tickets are a tiny bit wider for some reason. Okay, so you want to get them like that. You don't have to put 2 staples in, but I will. Okay, there's our little. Now this piece is going to come over. We want it to hang down past. You can pick how much you want it to hang over, as long as we keep it within 6 inches, because we know we only have 6 inches. So now that I trimmed the tickets a little bit, I know they fit even if you don't, because my other one fit. So this will get glued. As you can see, I just took a tiny bit off, and I mean a tiny bit. And this is the other half of the envelope, so it's open. So was the other one. I glued that side shut, which I will do here. I'm just trying to figure out where we want our pieces. So, and how close. This piece will get glued to this, like that. And it will fold over. So the tickets are loose from the pages. So this design works if you have a nice background or you don't mind showing the background. If you don't want to show the background, then you need the whole 12-inch strip. Put this in the kind of the center and pull it down and, you know, pull it over. Then you would still need probably a little piece for the bottom. But for me, because I'm using Tim Holtz paper, and again, it's just my idea book, it's, you know, I don't mind seeing Tim Holtz paper ever. So, all right. So let's measure. Let's see what we got. Our tickets measure a little over 4.5, and I do want about 1/4 or so out the bottom like that. And I believe this one I put under because this is going to be a pocket. So if that's going to be a pocket, instead of having the pocket on the outside where it could fall off, I'm going to decorate this. I want my pocket under this piece. So my string will come out the bottom, and I'm going to put a closure anywhere I want on here, but probably in this area. So that will be, give or take, this. That's where I'm going to make my first score mark. Does not have to be, you don't have to measure. Let's see. Okay, that says 3 1/4. I mean, three, 3/4. 3/4. Say it right. I don't want to, I'll be mixing everyone up. It's 3/4, so that's where I'm going to put my score mark. And because this is on the fatter side, you can go up or down 1. Just to give it that little bit of extra room. You don't, like that. Boom, boom. There you go. So now when you put this in, it just has that little bit of extra room right there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue this part. We're going to trim the sides in. Then we're going to glue this part to the back of this. So where does my scissors go? And this is what I mean. Again, no measuring, no, just by eye. And it only has to be a little bit. And it's just from that very first score mark from the end, closest to this end. All right, I'm just going to get my and we're just going to put a little bit of color ink on here. There we go. Okay, that's all we need. So that we'll get, oh, glue it the right way, get like that. So we're gonna put this where we want it. We don't put glue even in the little between the 2 score marks. You don't even have to bother put glue there. You can if you want, but I'm not. I'm just gonna glue from that very first score mark to the edge of the paper. And because of the staples, I want to make sure I put enough glue, because the staples do kind of stick up. So make sure we get enough glue on there. Okay, we want to make sure that that's kind of square. You don't, I mean, like that. Just kind of square. You want just a little fiddly, but we'll get it. And it will look like that. This piece, we want to glue the side. Actually, I'm going to use this glue. Whoops. Sorry. So we're just going to glue down this side, because I still want to use that as a little bit of a pocket, just to put an extra ticket in. It's not going to hold much, but enough for interest when you first open the ticket book. All right, so I'm not going to glue this in yet because I want to put the closure on. The other thing I did do was I made 2 closures. These are the sandable paper from Tim Holtz. I got for, what was it, my birthday? I forget what. I asked for the Tim Holtz black tablet. It's 8x8. And once I used it a couple of times, I fell so in love with the sandable paper that I now have in my cart the other 3 colors. One is what, neutrals, one is warm, and one is, what are they? But there's 3 and I have them in my cart. I'm gonna get them. I really enjoy these papers. I did glue 2 pieces of thin cardstock, and then I glued the sandable paper on top. I also put 2 crooked holes in. It's like, that's my superpower. there's a center of something, I won't find it. So if you ever need to hide from me, run to the center of something. Okay, where's my, let's hope we can get, I want the little hole. And you certainly don't need a hole puncher. You can use a pokey thing. That works fine. Okay. Here we go, center. I'll use the pokey tool. All right, I'm going to put my closure. This is the center, so I'm just going to bloop, bloop right up here. Okay, how's that look, everyone? Okay. It is what it is. Okay, just make your hole a little bigger. Put on your little closure, turn it around. I must put it away. I do have these, I don't mind using them, but they're more for decoration at this point because they don't really, they're way too big, but, you know, if I'm going to let the legs be out, I do like to give it just that little bit of extra. You could also make an extra circle. And okay, so now we have it. We put it over here. Get our thing, a little bottom, and then we can decide where we want this, which we will need the, it goes inside. We will need the string. I had a piece sitting here, but I lost it. Okay, this guy goes to there. So once we decide where we want it, I'm gonna call it right around there. Okay, so we see it's a little around a quarter or less, so that's where we're gonna, and I'm just gonna glue this top part. You can glue, oh goodness, if it's not pouring out on me, it's not coming out at all. There's the pin. Okay. Oh, at least I won't lose it. All right. Put enough on because this is pretty. Clean that off before I stick it back in the glue bottle. All right, so again, we're gonna just pick a spot, and a spot about right there. We said we know that lifts up. There we go. This goes under. I still need to get the string. What we want to do when we is make sure that it's fitting, not peeking out, that's all. So you can move it up as down. I like it peeking out the bottom. I don't want it peeking out the side. So let me get my, reach around and get my string. So I'm just going to use some of this. Did anyone see my scissors? Here it is. Okay, so now for this, I am going to pick close to the center and to glue the string. Actually, a hair off center. I always glue in the center, and then when I use it, it actually pulls it off center a little. And then it always looks a little crooked. So let's just try going, I mean, a tiny bit off center. Okay, we want to just glue this part down. Like that. And it's going to come up and around. So we're just going to give that a second to dry. Well, I might as well close my glue. Okay, well that's drying. I'm going to get this one out because I also have to trim this one. I just did a rough mark, and for this one, since this is going to be the tablet or journaling spot side, again, you can make this as rough as you want. This was just some not cardstock, but like construction paper, like really thin vanilla-y construction paper. You can have the bottoms ripped or the sides ripped. You can do it any way you want. I just cut them, and I didn't want to pack it too full. Again, this book's gonna end up being packed full, so I don't need to add too much girth where we don't really have to have it. All right, I'm gonna trim this. And I'm going to round the edge. I might have to trim the other one too. All right, I need to round the edge, and this one I used the middle, I believe, the medium. Just give it. Okay. This is the bottom. This is going to be the flap for this, which is why, and I did round this one, and put this in like that. And we're going to staple it. Just have to back away from my table to see. Okay, so we have that, and here we have a piece. Again, we know we're working within a 6-inch piece, so it all depends how long this one will go on top. So it will look like that. And that's how exactly I want it. Okay, maybe I'll move it out a little. All right, now let me try them. Okay. Okay, so that's about where I want it. So that's where I'm going to score it, give or take. Again, no measuring, we're just no measuring. It's about an inch. So that's where we're going to do it, about an inch. Let's see, how thick is this? To be honest, I don't really think okay, so it will be like that. So now we're going to just trim that in a little bit. You probably won't even have to do that. I just don't want them peeking out if the score lines are a little off. I don't want them peeking out, so I'm just going to move them, get a little stain on them. Now we can glue the back of this onto that. then I think our string will be dry. So really, my measurements might not really help you out too much. You have to go by how big of a page you're working with, or book, in this case, an idea book. In your case, it may be an idea book. It may also just be a folio or a journal. You can even just make these up and just put them aside until you're making a folio or journal. All right, let's see. Yep, did that correctly. Let's see if I have to scooch it over a bit. There we go. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right, so let's finish this one before I glue something that shouldn't be glued somewhere that it shouldn't be. All right, so now this I will put my glue on. Definitely need my glue that I can move things around, because I am not one-shot Jill, that's for sure. Okay, just want to make sure I get glue all around the string and back on top of the string as well. Get all the way to the corners, good. All right. Now, we're gonna lay that down close to the edge. I can scrooge it up if I need to. Gonna straighten it out a little. Just want the ends, so that the sides, so they're not peeking out. And I just want to, hold it for a little bit. It will be going underneath, and it does have the pocket. So just to remind myself that it has the pocket, let's dig out a little ticket that I can stick in there. I need one small enough. This one might be too small. Yep, this one's too small. Let's get a blue one. Yes, leave it stick out a little bit. Okay. And then it gets, I don't want to pull it tight, because until the glue is totally dry, you get the idea here. I'm going to wait for that, actually. Okay, while that is finishing curing, we will continue with this. Make sure that's on there. Like I said, this one actually will come over. We can adjust it a little bit, as long as we keep it within the 6 inches for my page. If your page is 12, you can go as high as you want. But I do need to put the closure in. You could put 2 closures. I just don't feel the need to do that. What I do want to do is make sure I don't put I want, give or take, that will come up a little bit. So I think I either want to put my closure here. I hate to cover up the red mark, so I think I'll put my Okay, it's gonna have to cover up the red mark, I guess, because I kind of want my closure right around there, so it's just gonna be what it is. I'm gonna kind of measure. Let's see. Okay, so that's about, and this is so crooked anyway, you probably won't even notice the red between how crooked that one is. I wouldn't have used it if it were going in a folio or journal. I wouldn't even use it, but since it's my idea book, maybe it will remind me to not go so crooked. Okay, put that in, but I don't know why I can't seem. I've tried every method. Every method I can possibly try. We're going to glue the string on. Oh, not that one. Where's my... There it is. Rob Peter to pay Paul there. All right. So the string is going to get glued on this way. Come straight up. So I'm going to sort of find center and then not put it on center. I didn't cut that one. Oh my goodness. All right. Now let's find center. I don't need that. I just want to mark it. This is center, so we want to be just a hair. And I'm going to do it with this. If it cooperates, I'm going to do it with that. Okay, just stick the glue down. Give it. Okay, I'm gonna stick it over here to dry. I don't think I need that anymore. Let's bring this back. I do use these clamps to hold it while I'm working on it. Okay, let's get that. Okay, then go 1. I think that's actually 2, 3. We just do it about 4, and then I usually like to put a little loop-de-loo on it. It's easier for me to grab after that. Whoop. So I'll untie it. Oh, I got myself confused. That's why I count. Whoop, that's why I count. I usually do 3 or 4, but that's why I count. Okay. Kind of put it in there double and then pull it. And if I want to hang something from it, I can. If I don't want to, we don't. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now this one, you know what, before I go too far though, I do want to go after this here. There we go. Oh, I hope I'm not out of frame. I just want to get some of that so it looks a little neater. Okay, so that goes about there. Again, this one's going to go on top. So as long as we put it about there. That should be pretty nice. Okay, I think what I want then is this one to be about even with that one. That will be a trick for me. That is what we're going to do. But again, this is projects that I'm doing. Consider them more page ideas, I guess, instead of book ideas. Okay. All right. Hope I don't get my head in the way. Hold it. Giving that glue a chance to grab. Then put some glue on here. And I do think, I don't know if this week, no, it's actually, tomorrow's Friday, so it won't be this week or weekend. Probably somewhere next week is where I'm going to debut my idea for an idea book. So if you want to catch that, please stay tuned. Otherwise, you can absolutely do Cori's. It is gorgeous. And I think Cori has a couple different idea books because she has so many great ideas. I absolutely adore her channel. I just adore her channel. I can't say enough good about her, and her channel has taught me so much. So you probably already watch it. It's 2, 3, and 4. But if you don't, you wanna that's all I can say there. Definitely want to. Did I do it again? Whoop. Did I confuse myself again? Yes, I did. Whoop, there we go. You can always feel it. I don't know why I rush past that feel, and if I'd count a little less yapping and a little more paying attention, I won't have issue. Okay. See, I have to be quiet when I'm making a knot. My fingers don't work. Okay. Okay. Did I actually do it to the other side? Okay, 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the magic number. Okay, there we go. I have some ideas that I want to decorate them with, but that's it. We have them done. So thank you for joining me and watching me make the ticket one and the journaling spot one. I know my measurements aren't exactly handy because your measurements will be different depending on your page size. This one is 6 by 6. Mine ended up being 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, and about 5 and 5/8. My ticket one is thinner because it's only tickets, so 2 1/4. And this one is 2 3/4. So go by your what your page is. Okay, well, hope you found it interesting. I will link Cori's front and back cover video so you can see. And if you have any questions, leave me in the comments because I will get back to you. Otherwise, have a great weekend and stay creative. Hugs.